Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. It's time for Taroscopes. We're going to be doing the Taroscopes for the sign of Leo. That's Leo Sun, Leo Moon, or Leo Rising for the month of November 2023. Before we get to the Taroscope, the tarot part of the Taroscope, we are going to look at a little astrology. I want to make a few comments about last month. Last month was wonderful in some cases and horrific in others. Unfortunately, it seems like the horror has overrid anything that might have seemed like a good thing. But yeah, it's been difficult. It's been difficult. October was a very challenging month. Of course, it was the eclipse month. We had two eclipses. First, a new moon eclipse at 21 degrees of Libra. And then we had a full moon eclipse with the moon in Taurus, about 5 degrees of Taurus, I think it was. And it was conjunct Mars and Mercury, and it was opposite Jupiter. In fact, Mars and Jupiter were very, very close to an exact opposition. And Jupiter always potentiates things, and Mars can be anger and aggression and all those things. So it's been, and certainly, if not anger and aggression, which we saw, certainly huge emotional catharsis. If I had to use a word for October, catharsis would be up there in the top 10. And as we move to the 11th month of the year, things will continue to be intense. We won't be as surprised because we don't have the eclipse, but things will be intense, and we do have a choice. And there is a certain amount of having to let things go to its end so that it can be different this month. So let's take a look at the astrology specifically for you, Leo. Okay, let me find the right button. Okay. All right, so let's go. Let's see. This we need to be on Leo. Okay, here's Leo. So, gosh, I didn't put the full moon in here. I got to double check when I do these things. Okay, so I mean the new moon. So Leo rising, Leo moon. Sun ruled the sun ruled sign. That's one of the reasons why last month was so difficult. It was very, well, I mean, it was challenging for everybody. The sun and excuse me, signs ruled by the sun and the moon got particularly hit hard because we had an eclipse of the sun and an eclipse of the moon. And so the sun and the moon is how we know ourselves, right? I mean, it's our most basic self, really. And they got eclipsed. And so it's been difficult. And of course, Venus, the planet of love, was in Leo for so long, retrograde, going through the shadows, going through the underworld, coming back out of the underworld, getting caught in all those yods pointing at her. It's been difficult. It's been challenging for sure for Leo. And this is the time of the year when the sun is not as strong, especially in Libra. The sun is not strong in Libra. So October generally is not the strongest month for the Leo because its sun is in a detriment. It's in a sign of its detriment. So it can be exhausting. It can be exhausting. So if you happen to have Leo in your chart and Cancer in your chart, like I do, it's a tad exhausting, among other things. You really had to dig deep in order to find the goal in the challenges. You had to go real deep. And we're going to have another deep month, but it's going to be a little different because the energy is different. We're in an 11 month, so this does require a lot of balance. When we add the 7, we're in 18-9 vibration, which is the moon in the tarot. And so people are going to not be in their right mind. A lot of emotional ups and downs, and you have to make sure you protect yourself to the best of your ability, both physically. I think that's true for everybody, and psychically. If you know, really watch what you ingest through your eyeballs in at this time, because it would be easy enough to get overcome with what is going to be shown to us. But it's all in service for us to say enough and no more, and then really take the steps to get there. All right, let's look at the specific stuff for Leo. Leo is a sun ruled sign, as I said. The sun is going to be in the first part of the month. It's in Scorpio. That is your 4th house. It's the most personal house, sort of like your den, like the lion's den down there. And you want your den to be deep in the earth, Scorpio, near a water source, Scorpio, where you can hide. This is the Leo chart. The Leo wants to be seen, but when it doesn't want to be seen, it goes off in its little underground cave here, which is the 4th house, where it can heal, where it can transform, where it can find rest. So for Leos, this is a time of rest. Then when it moves into Sag, things lighten up a bit, because Sag is also a fire sign, and it's trine your Leo. And your Sag is in your 5th house, which is the Leo house. So things start to loosen up towards the end of the month. Mercury is in Scorpio and is the first one to move into Sag on the 8th. Then we have the Sun move into Sag on the 22nd, and Mars move into Sag on the 24th. And then we have Mars in Sag, the Sun in Sag for a month, Mercury about a month, maybe a little less than, about a month, because when it goes into Capricorn, it's going to go retrograde. But we won't talk about that yet. So we have this time from the beginning of November till, just around the time the sun moves into Sag on the 22nd. We're going to feel like we want to hide out. And perhaps that's what you need to do. You need to recharge. It's been a really, really difficult time and Leos are sunny. They want to inspire people. They want people to feel like it's going to be okay, that all in all, when the sun will come up tomorrow and we'll all be able to warm ourselves in its life-giving rays. That's really what Leo wants. Leo wants to be a good ruler. But sometimes they can turn into a tyrant, which we see with unevolved Leos and Leos who get drunk on power. Or Leo risings that got drunk on power, like certain ex-presidents. But this is not a time of power for the Leo rising. It's a time of rest and recuperation, really. Now, the other things that are going on is we do have Saturn stations direct this month on the 4th. That's going to be happening in your 8th house. This is a good time as Saturn starts to move forward through that 8th house, that you take care of your finances, your taxes, all that stuff that needs to happen in order for you to be, by the time Saturn gets out of that house, for you to be more free to do what you want to do and go where you want to go. Saturn moving through that 8th house brings up a lot of debts that are owed, and so you have to pay up with Saturn in that house. So be prepared to pay what you owe. And some of us owe more than others. Some of us owe very little, and some of us owe a whole damn lot, and we're going to see it. We're going to see it. We also have Jupiter up there in the 10th house. It's retrograde right now, but Jupiter in the 10th house does expand your visual, like people see you easier, and you're seen for who you are. So hopefully who you are is good, because sometimes I know you guys are all good because you're watching me. That's just the way it works. So there are some people out there not watching me, but not resonating to this stuff. That's what I'm saying. Really, it's not really that they're not watching me. They might be watching somebody else that is saying the same thing, that we need to be the best people we can be, and we need to be compassionate and loving and hold the light and do what we can to for the cause of peace. All right. Yeah, so we have Jupiter up there still retrograde, Uranus retrograde in the 10th house. You could feel like you're going over old ground at work or in your career. It's okay. It's part of the process. 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We have a full moon in the sign of Gemini that's occurring on the 28th, the end of the month, with the sun in Sag. The new moon, which I forgot to put in, is happening in Scorpio. And so it's happening down here, 21 degrees of Scorpio, almost exactly opposite Uranus. So that new moon in Scorpio, this could be a new beginning when it comes to a home or your sense of home. Maybe there's a renovation happening in your home. The opposition to Uranus is saying that unexpected things may come up. Unexpected things may come up. And this is it's a lunation cycle, so it does last for the whole cycle, the whole lunation. We'll probably get an idea of what might come up when we get to the full moon in Gemini. Let's just look quickly at the weeks here. The first week is a week of awareness. We have 3, count them 3 oppositions, the sun and Jupiter, 2 largest planets in the solar system. So it's big. Everything, whenever Jupiter touches anything, it's big. And the sun is the biggest thing in the sky, and everything's big. And it's full illumination, guys. It's full illumination. We are going to see things that we knew we might see. We're going to see things we wish we hadn't seen. We're going to see lots of stuff in that awareness. But it's with that awareness, it's keeping our eyes wide open in a way to see what we need to see so that we can take steps to do what we need to do. Now, I say, do it in a different way, change direction. I'm not necessarily talking about you because you may already be on the path, but this is for the people who are not on the path. These are the people who have been doing the same thing, and then suddenly they realize that they're either not happy or nothing is happening or it's futile. Why am I doing it this way? It's time to do things in a little different way or a big different way. It depends on what you've been doing, really. We have Venus opposite Neptune. Venus and Neptune have a special relationship because Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. It's love brought to the level of compassion. And we're going to see an outpouring of compassion. We certainly need that. There's certainly any number of reasons to be compassionate. Mercury opposes Uranus. Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. So we have the planets, the personal planets, in opposition to their higher octaves. We need to be our best selves in November. Then we have Saturn turn direct. And it's as if we need to have all these realizations. Then Saturn turns direct and we move in the direction of our destiny, which when Saturn's in Pisces is a spiritual destiny. Week 2, Venus trines Pluto. That's a nice flow of energy. That could be a flow of money and resources in a situation. Mercury trine Neptune. This is also a flow of compassion from Neptune, communication, listening, maybe some sort of peace initiative here. We have Mercury sextile Pluto, and then it's square Saturn. Mercury moves into, it's a trines Pluto, and then it moves into Sag where it squares Saturn. Okay, so we get this beautiful trine energy from Pluto. Was it trine or sextile? Sextile energy from Pluto, right? Progressive change. And then reality comes in and says, how are you going to make that happen? We have at the end of the week, which is probably the most, well, it's all pretty volatile, but we have one of the more volatile aspects, Mercury opposing Uranus. And it's especially volatile because, did I say Mercury? I meant Mars. Mars is in a sign of its rulership, Scorpio, bottom line. And Scorpio, Mars and Scorpio can be the scalpel that takes the tumor out and saves your life, or it could be the person who stabs you in the back. Scorpio is a sign of extremes. And so with Mars and Scorpio, we're going to see extremes, both good and bad. Okay. So just be aware of that. Be prepared. Try not to be reactive. Oppositions are here to bring awareness, not necessarily to take an action from. So you have to sort of hold back here, and it's not going to be easy. Week 3, we have the new moon in Scorpio. It is in a tight opposition to Uranus. So this is the new moon in Scorpio starts a cycle where all things can change. Okay. We also have the sun, your ruler, trine Neptune, Mars trine Neptune, both Mars and the sun trine Neptune. That happens after that new moon in Scorpio. These are good energies. The trine to Neptune, it's as if there's like a healing balm coming in and understanding with Neptune, compassion. And you want to be on that vibe. You want to be on the compassion, loving, comfort, aid vibe, instead of the crazy ass, I'm going to do whatever I want because I think I'm right vibe, which can also happen because you act from a delusional place. Then we have Mars make a conjunction to the sun. This happens every 2 years. It's the start of a cycle. It's at 26 degrees of Scorpio. It is still opposite Uranus, so we still have that Uranus energy in here. Week 4, the sun and Mars both sextile Pluto, and then they move into Sag and they square Saturn. So there's this inspiration, there's this opportunity to change, to move in a progressive direction. It's easier to change now. We need to take advantage of that. And then Saturn comes and says, how are you going to make it real? And that's what we have to do. We have to make it real. At the end of the month, we have the full moon in Gemini. That's going to be in your house, your axis of love, your 5th house, personal love, and your 11th house, impersonal love, love of your lover and love of humanity. And the full moon is in that axis, and you will see full force and full moon light. You know, sometimes full moons, it's so bright at night, it's almost like daytime because the moon lights up the dark. And that's what we're going to see. The moon is going to light up the dark, and we're going to see, hopefully we're going to see the work of those of us who are in the vibe of love and support and helping and keeping the world safe. All right. Just talking about it is exhausting. Of course, I have a Leo rising, so all I want to do is go in my den and hide under the covers, but I won't because I know you guys like I will, but I'll still be here. I'll still be out for you guys. All right. Wonderful. Oh dear, I just noticed that I'm completely foggy. All right, let me see if I can fix that. I don't know why these things happen. I don't understand anything about technology. All right, let's look at oops, that's not what I want. Let's look at the tarot deck. Oh, the tarot cards now. Come on now. I hate when this happens. This freaking annoys me. I have a Leo rising. I want to be seen. Ah. Okay, I'm gonna do a little trick here. I'll be right back. Ta-da! I'm not that smart. All right. Where's the cards? I don't want to move because I'm going to get all foggy again. What did I do with the frick? Oh, I keep using that word. That's bad, right? Oh, I found them. Yeah, one of my bags that Ona made me. She's so talented, isn't she? Leaves. Luckily for me, I have 1,000 decks because she sent me about 1,000 of these. All different, all beautiful. Oh, do I have the one? I have one where she put jibs on it. It's got a little curly tail and everything. It's so cute, but it's up there and I'm not going to go get it because I'm stuck in the corner here. All right. I'm going to use the Druid Craft Tarot on this. And then after that, I'm going to be pulling a oracle card, Spirit of the Wheel. One more, guys, one more. These are kind of unwieldy. These are so big. It's beautiful art. So I like the fact that it's big and it's good, you know, to share with you so you can see it. But they are hard to shuffle. All right, Leo. Heartbreak. Yeah, heartbreak. You are witnessing things that are breaking your heart. Loss, sorrow, tears. You've probably been crying a lot. I know I have. But the Three of Swords is also something that frees us. Something happens that frees us from a situation where we've been stuck. And it's a painful thing, though. Let's see the challenge to this. The Magician. Seeing it as an empowering experience instead of a disempowering experience. This is about constant. Your challenge is to, despite the sorrow that you feel and you're experiencing, you have to focus your energy to manifest the world that you want to create. That's what the Magician does. Because at the root of it is a new beginning. The Ace of Wands. This is a Leo card. This is a Leo card. New beginnings. In the past, full illumination. Something has been illuminated to you. In the sky, we have the Two of Pentacles. This requires some juggling, keeping your balance. It's in stormy times, watching your money. Immediate future. The Eight of Cups. You're going to turn your back on something you've put a lot of effort into that's no longer spiritually fulfilling. It's time to go to a place, and we have another eclipse here. You see the eclipse? This looks like a Ring of Fire eclipse too, which is what the new moon in October was. It was a Ring of Fire eclipse. There's going to be a lot of you who, because of what happened in October, you're going to stop what you were always doing and you're going to do something else because you want to be part of the solution and not part of the problem. How it's seen from the outside. The Leo card, people see you as strong, sensual, able to move through this with grace, despite the fact that the power that you're wielding or the power that's around you can be rather ferocious and sometimes ugly. Now, these guys are so ugly they're cute, but this is sort of that bestial power and your ability to hold that back, to take control of your fire and your spirit, utilizing maybe your anger and your frustration to fuel something that brings beauty and love into the world. Your domestic situation. Six of Wands, the home is okay. This is victory. This is a victory card. So this is things at home are going to work out for you, whatever that means for you. It's going to be a positive experience. This is also a Leo card. So we have a lot of the Leo cards coming up in the Leo reading. Hopes and fears. This is fear, I would say. This is abuse of power, not playing fair. You're tired of that. You just don't want to see it anymore. See your outcome? This is the, I'm going to say it, but I don't think I say it right. Fairlet. This is a temperance card. Alchemy, balance, spiritual initiation. This is a healing card, but it is a card that requires you to walk the straight and narrow. You have to watch. You can't get caught up in extremes. It's not going to be helpful for you. If you want to heal, you have to put one foot in front of the other and just keep your focus on that which you want to create, Leo. Where's your focus? As above, so below. Utilizing all the four elements. All the four elements: air, water, fire, earth. Under your command, the command of the ether, the fifth element, right? All right, let's see what's underneath it. We have the Princess of Cups, which is hope. There's a sensitivity to this card. There's a hopefulness. There's a naivete. Look at her face. She's like, this is love. This is what's possible. This is our children. Our children are watching. Not only are they watching, they've had live shooter drills their whole career as children. We have to do better. Seven of Swords. This is being aware of who's doing the shenanigans and writing it all down, taking note, figuring out who deserves the power they have and who doesn't. This is like the International Criminal Court, right? And then the Ace of Pentacles, building a new world. Two aces. So this is a difficult time. This is challenging. This is painful and difficult. But on the other side of this, is, oops, sorry guys. This is why I do my cards on top of the computer. There's always a chance that I'm going to shut myself off. This is the beginning of the end. And we're actually there already. We're actually where we need to be. Our awareness hasn't caught up to it yet. So, all right, let's do the Spirit of the Wheel Oracle. This will be the last thing I do. And for some reason, I left Leo as the last sign. So I'm done with my taroscopes after this. It's been challenging to do these taroscopes. It's so emotionally fraught right now in the world. And it's hard to not bring that into the reading. So if this seems a little bit more dire than usual, it's only because we're in more dire times. And I got to say what I see and feel. Otherwise, why would you watch me? If you want somebody to blow sunshine up your butt, I don't know, you ain't going to find it here. Although you're also not going to find things are terrible and never going to get better. That doesn't happen here either. I try to be as honest as I can be with what I see without scaring the pants off of anybody, namely myself. Not a pretty sight, me running around without pants. Not like the old days. Mother Earth. Oh, gosh. Look at that. The mother and the child. Look at that. How many mothers are holding their children in Gaza? How many mothers are holding their children in Israel and Afghanistan and everywhere in Ukraine, right? Wanting to keep their children safe. Creative feminine force, nurturing and birth. Okay. All right. I think I'll take my glasses off for this. I'll hold it up though, because they're pretty. Can you see it? I can't even tell. Okay, here we go. The Mother Earth card asks that you open yourself to feel the complete truth of your life. You must be willing to experience the painful as well as the joyful moments to fully emerge. Reaching that magical point of renewal allows the heart to expand toward the light. Through the expression of our emotions, we are able to tap into our true feminine nature and appreciate our connection to all living things. We learn to properly nurture ourselves and become the caretakers that we are naturally meant to be. Open up and allow your heart room to grow. When we allow ourselves to give birth to our emotions, we learn to truly honor the creative feminine source within us. And this is your prayer. I call upon the energies of Mother Earth to help me to accept and express my true feminine nature. I honor all beings with the gift of motherly compassion that is innate within me. And we all have that, whether we're male or female or somewhere in between. Or neither, I guess. There's it neither, I think. I'm not up on that, but I love everybody, so it's cool. Be you. You be you, I be me, and we'll all do just fine. All right, guys. I hope this was helpful. It was helpful for me, so at least one person. Take care. Have a do your best. Do your best this month. Like and subscribe if you would. If you'd like to support me a little bit more hands-on, I do have a Patreon page for as little as $5 a month. You can support my work. But you know, whatever you can do is fine. I appreciate your attention and that because I think the messages are important. I also do astrology, numerology readings, astrology, numerology, Kabbalah combination readings. I pull in your chart, I pull in your numbers, I pull in the tree of life, and I can pull in the tarot cards as well in that kind of reading. And there's many layers, there's a lot of depth to it. And most people who get it really like it and really find it helpful. I have an hour and an hour and a half reading available. I do have availability. It's a great gift if you, you know, the gift of self-knowledge is priceless. And that's really what I'm trying to do, is to bear witness to your magnificence that maybe only you see. Up to this point, there'll be two of us now. That's a bit of a joke, but not a bit of a joke. Let's see here. It's, you know what it is? It's the lighting this time of night. It's really terrible. But this is my last one, and it's dark out now. It's much better when the sun's outside. I get much better light, and I look much better in that light. Leo rising. So yes, so you can get a reading with me as well. So all of the links are below. So take care, everyone, and know that you're loved and that you're special and that you're great. Great. Take care. Namaste.